Hello, I'm Cammy G, and welcome back to our Plankerton AFK Endurance videos. So I've got a request for the West Amplifier here, so this is my C, but it's just to the west of the home base, down there, so you can see on the map. Now I have the Southwest and the Flex to the West amplifiers placed, but if you don't have these two placed down, you will get a South spawn for this amplifier. So I believe... I'm not actually sure which ones cause the spawn to go away. I would think it would be both of them. But if you don't have this one, but do have this one, and are still getting a spawn for the West Amplifier there, I would imagine the spawn will be around about here, just behind this amplifier's placement here. But it could be a bit further back. I apologise, as I don't actually know where that spawn is for this one, because I obviously have these placed down, so I can't see where they would spawn. But for this one, it's going to be a little bit tricky because, you know, we're at the top of a hill here, and it's a pretty direct route to the amplifier. Now, I don't think you could get away with, you know, blocking this and forcing them to go down that area there. I think the best way to go about this would be to just let them go straight towards the amplifier. Now, with it being Plankerton, spawn traps will kill most stuff. So I appreciate we've got stuff built here, and I don't really want to tear this stuff down. I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to place this stuff back. But yeah, as I say, the spawn should be just about where this amplifier is. Now, because this is so open, you're going to get, you know, flingers and lobbers could just walk to the side, drop down here, and fling from here, lob from here, and enemies could just walk, you know, to the amplifier from here. So what we'll do at the end is probably build some sort of lobber shield for that. But what I would do is the enemies up there that might want to drop down and come this way. So there's two options. You could just build a tunnel that's going to do huge damage to deal with them, or you could try block this. Now, to block it, you're probably going to need to add quite a bit to stop enemies from wanting to come down to this area. So this is what I would go for. The only issue with this is, if I can actually get back up, enemies could come to this point and drop inside this block offs, and it gets murky. It's honestly not a nice spawn to have. But thankfully, as I say, we are in Plankerton, so it's not too difficult to deal with stuff. So where I would start is by getting your roof over the spawn. And what we'll also want to do is this bit where we're going to drop them down, you'll want to build a wall like this, just to stop stuff at the top from being able to target the amplifier. So if I just do this, just to give myself a bit of something to stand on, and we'll probably go one more over as well. You do this, and then let's just extend this up as well, like that. And now, if we go on here, we can place ceilings here. So it's up to you how high you want to go with the ceiling over the spawn here. So you go up another one, like this, and then place your traps. So we would go like this. Obviously, if the spawn is further back, build this further back, but I'm assuming the spawn is around about this area. So what I'm going to do is extend for that. So these ceiling traps are going just about to where these ramps go down, and yeah, that's about where we'd go to. Now, for these, I personally would use ceiling drop traps, the tire ones, because... Ooh, look at the moonlight coming through them. That's kind of funky. But yeah, because they are going to not just activate whenever there's enemies anywhere. You could put ceiling electric fields on the edge ones to sort of zap inwards to the middle. It's up to you. I'm not saying you can't use ceiling electric field on all of this. You can if you want. It will be effective. They just might run out of durability a lot quicker. Then what you can do is on these ones, I would place electric fields here to zap to enemies as they get close. Put wall darts on these four. They will shoot towards the enemies at spawn. And then what we'll do is here, what I would do is block enemies from being able to come to this bit. So obviously we have walls here. What I would do is build this up, have these metal bits as well, and have these wood be like structure to get up there. And yeah, just build this wall across to stop enemies from being able to go from the spawn over here and flank round you know, to here and fling, lob, whatever they might want to do. You might want to add extra blockades behind, so I wouldn't add, you know, ramps here because the enemies would just walk over them. So you get rid of that. You could do that if you want, which would add an extra layer of protection. And then you could even add another, you know, layer behind. This will just make enemies want to drop down into this bit. Now you might want this wall to be extended as well. And up there, just to make sure enemies don't go to here and fling to the objective. Now, because it is Plankerton, as I've said in the other ones, most stuff is going to die to spawn up there. So I wouldn't worry too much about what you need to build down here. But what I'm going to build in this area here, you can replicate on this stuff here. But obviously I have stuff built here, so I'm only going to build it in this area. So what I would do is give them a floor to land on. Obviously don't place ceilings here because the enemies would land on them and then go towards the objective. But you're going to want ceilings as you go towards the objective. And then what I would do is just sort of alternate walls. So, for example, like this, have the left one open, then one there, have the right one open, and just copy that to these two as well. It'll mean that enemies will drop, you know, here and then go here. The enemies that drop here will either go through this bit, or they will go here through a gap here, and then you'd have this wall one over, and just keep alternating that like a maze. And what I would do is I'd probably put freeze or wooden floor spikes on the first few, and then when you get to here I'd do tar pit traps on these ones. Now what you can do is, because we're going to be alternating these, you'd have like a wall there, you can put broadsides on the back of that, broadside there, broadside there, broadside there, although we might leave this bit open as we discussed at the start. But you can place a wall there, get broadsides on, you can have a wall there, broadsides, you know, slowing traps. Just don't place ceilings in this area because enemies will land on the ceiling and walk over the tunnels. I'd probably advise to leave this stuff closed like this so enemies don't go out into the open. Same for over here, I'd just build, you know, a blockade like this, and probably like that. And that should hopefully, you know, you can get broadsides on all these, put the walls up to the edges, get broadsides on all of these as long as there's a wall facing it, which I think all of them do. If you look around, they've all got 3 blocks or closer. You can put floor traps here as well. Ooh. I am lagging. There we go. Thought I was going to have to record the rest of this video in a bit. But yeah, you can place floors on all this, just no ceilings. And yeah, throughout this bit, as I say, we've done the walls. I'd just do wall darts on these sides because this area is going to be quite open across. And then on the ceilings in here, it's up to you. I mean, gas trap, zappers, ceiling electric field, all would be pretty useful. So I'll let you decide for that. And then when you get to this point, oh my god, I'm lagging again. What is going on? Is it Fortnite or is it me? I don't even know. Wow, where have I ended up? Okay. Yeah, we've got a wall here, so maybe you'd want to change how these alternate. So instead of having that there, you'd have it like that, and then just, you know, change these like so, because then that lines up with our pattern. But yeah, when you get to this point, just you don't really need to build much. You know, you might want to put wall spikes on the walls for mini bosses and stuff, and some zappers in the air. But yeah, most stuff should die in the spawn or when it has dropped down. So I wouldn't worry too much about that stuff. So yeah, I mean, in terms of flanks, obviously we've covered this bit, and I'd just make sure you look around for any ramps that could lead up and just block them. Obviously we've got these blockades which we made in a different video. Just make sure you have that sort of stuff. If you have this amplifier, you will have built defenses around here, so if enemies try flank round there, you know, they've got damage to them. So yeah, this build should be perfect. Please do let me know how it goes for you. Obviously I can't test this in this case because I don't have this spawn, but I can't imagine any, you know, enemies being able to take advantage here. Just make sure you extend this sort of ceiling across up until the point where you add like a wall, just to make sure that enemies can't fling or lob from up here. That's basically all that's there for. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this helped you guys out. I know there won't be too many that would need this, but obviously I'm here to help. So I really do hope you found it useful. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, all the usual stuff, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Cheers.